In this video, I'm going to talk you through 7 bronzers for mature skins. Welcome to Beauty by Des. I'm Des, I'm over 60, and I love to talk about makeup, skincare, clothes, and other bits and bobs that make me happy. I also have a website called Beauty by Des, and I'm on Insta and Facebook too. Now, if that sounds like your cup of tea, then please consider giving me a thumbs up because it lets me know that I'm on the right track. And better yet, subscribe to the channel so that YouTube knows to put my videos in front of other older women who might enjoy this kind of content. And with that, let's crack on. So, bronzers, gosh, what a minefield this is. I have really tried to do a deep dive into where to put a bronzer, what type of bronzer to use, etc. because I have really been in a bit of a bronzing rut. So, I have trawled through YouTube and it seems that there is some consensus but not complete consensus on type of bronzers as against contour powders, where to put them and how to use them. And I think there does seem to be quite a muddled thought about where they go, and depending, I suppose, on the type of skin you've got and how old you are as well as to where you're going to put it. Now, I'm not interested in contouring, really. That's not for me. I'm not trying to slim down anything because, you know, as we age, we lose bone and we use collagen, we lose elastin, so everything tends to sink a bit. So really, we don't want to be, you know, sucking in our cheeks and trying to make them smaller necessarily, unless you really want to focus on that. But really, we're trying to plump up our skin rather than making it look sort of thinner. So what kind of bronzers do we use? I mean, do we even need a bronzer? I like the idea of a bronzer, and I'm quite late to the party. I probably only started using bronzer about 4 or 5 years ago, and I used to use the Chanel Soleil de Teint, I think it was called. But I decided it was a little bit orangey for me, and I did used to apply it all over, I think, or quite a lot, especially when I was on holiday. But now I'm trying to be a little bit more careful and judicious about where I put my bronzer. So let me talk you through the bronzers I've got. Some are new to me and some I have used quite a lot, as you will see. I'll talk you through them. I'll tell you what they say, the companies say about where you're supposed to apply them, and then I'll tell you where I apply them. We're going to start with number 1, which is the Bobbi Brown Bronzing Powder, and I have it in the shade Stonestreet. And I chose that shade because it's lovely and cool. So what it says in the blurb is it's formulated with the perfect balance of red and brown tones. It's a lightweight powder bronzer with a soft matte finish, and it comes in 6 shades and it's £33. So basically, it doesn't tell you how to apply it, actually, this one, but you could do it in a figure of 3. I'm tending at the moment to try and apply it on my cheekbones, because one of the things that most of the people I've watched on YouTube say is to try and put your bronzer where the sun naturally hits. So if you think about when you used to get sunburnt back in the day, if you're like me, you would get sunburnt a little bit here, on the end of your nose, actually at the tops of your cheekbones, I think, and on your chin. So I suppose it's the most prominent parts of your face that would likely get sunburnt. So I really like the Bobbi Brown. I think it feels very comfortable on the skin and highly recommend it. It comes in 6 shades, definitely worth a look. Now, number 2 is a cream bronzer, and I've had this cream bronzer for quite some time. I don't want to tell you exactly how long, but I'm not entirely sure myself. And it's by Milk Makeup. It's this one here. And it's in the shade Baked, and I have a feeling it's the only shade available. So the marketing says, creamy and blendable with long-lasting staying powder infused with a medley of hydrating ingredients to encourage healthy, juicy skin. And who doesn't want that? How to apply. Formula melts into the skin on contact, making contouring and bronzing easy. See, it's confusing the two. Anyway, it only comes in 1 shade, costs £18. It's actually out of stock at the moment on Cult Beauty, but I think it is available in most places. And you apply it by, you can twist up like this, and that's what it looks like on, and it does melt into the skin. I really like it. Now, I've just done a video on products that have fragrance in them, and happily this one doesn't. This Milk Makeup product doesn't, but sadly their lip and cheek sticks do, so I can't use those anymore. But this is a really great product, and I think I'm going back to cream products for spring summer because they are lighter and I don't feel so inclined to wear as much powder product as I would in the winter and the autumn probably. Now the next product, which again I've had for a little while but not very long, is the Milani, and it's this one here. It's probably the lighter of the three so far. And I'm in the shade 02 Sunkissed. It comes in 4 shades and it costs £14, so it's cheaper than the Milk, which is at 18. Feels very nice on the skin. Let me swatch a little for you on my finger there. As you can see, it's quite a cool shade 02. I think it was Pretty Over 50 Kimberly who got me into Milani. It's more difficult to get Milani products in the UK, although it may be easier now than it used to be, but especially if you go into a store it's not easy, but easier to buy online. Milani doesn't give you a clue as to where to put it, so you just got to pay your money and takes your choice as to where you decide to use it. So number 4 is by Hourglass, and it's their Ambient bronzing powder, and I bought the little mini, and here it is. The mini was £25, but I think I got some money off because there was some kind of special promo going on a couple of weeks ago. Anyway, here it is in all its glory, and let me tell you what it says about it. So it says, groundbreaking hybrid fuses the universally flattering glow, buildable bronze pigments to provide a seamless, soft focus finish. £25. Then it tells you what to do. You're to gently swirl the entire compact to pick up the perfect balance of pigment and powder, lightly apply all over the face to achieve a sun-kissed glow, or you can use it to define as a subtle contour along the temples, the hollows of the cheeks and jawline. Comes in 2 shades, so you see again it's mixing bronzer with contour powder, but anyway it is very beautiful, and let me swatch it for you. So you're supposed to just swirl it around and mix the two together. It looks quite light on my fingers, but actually let me just put a little bit on my skin just to see if I can show you. In fact, I'm going to use my fingers because if I don't, my brush is probably all covered with other powders now, but let's just see if we can see. I'll tell you what, let's put some up here. Ooh, it's fallen down. See, it's not that light, is it, when you put it on? It is lovely, and it's got more of a luminous, and it's got more of a sort of luminosity to it, I think. So that's the Hourglass Ambient bronzing powder. So number 5 is by Trinny London, and it's called Gaia, and it's a cream bronzer, and this is it here. Again, it's quite a coolish shade. Let me swatch a tad for you here. That's what it looks like. It does have a sheen, and it says it comes in 4 shades, and simply apply where the rays would naturally fall on your face, nose, forehead, cheekbones, then blend to your desired post-getaway glow. With daily use will last up to 6 months. Wow, that's going to last up to 6 months, it says, because it costs £25, which is quite pricey for a little pot. But I think that is a beautiful colour. In fact, I'll tell you what, let's put a little bit on my chin, shall we? There we are. And then we'll blend it out to be careful that it doesn't look like muck. I'll tell you what, let's pop a bit on my nose as well. Yes, I don't know. It now looks to me like it's a bit shiny, but what do you think? I think it has given it a bit of a shine, actually. Whether one wants a shiny nose, I don't know, but maybe in the sun it will probably look better. So that's the Trinny London Cream Bronzer in Gaia. So number 6 is by NYX, and it is the matte bronzer, this one here. I haven't really used this one properly, but I like the fact that it was quite a deep, cool shade. Not that dissimilar, I thought, to the Bobbi brand Stonestreet. Let's compare the two. They look fairly similar, although the Bobbi is probably a little bit redder. Anyway, the blurb says, oh, it costs £6.80, so it's very reasonable. Comes in 3 shades. Says it's available in an array of russet-hued shades to complement both light and dark skin tones. It has a velvet textured formula, seamlessly adheres to the skin. And actually, it does feel quite velvety, I have to say. It really does. It's very nice and soft. It says how to apply: dust across the cheekbones, collarbone, shoulders, back and legs. Oh, for an all-over glow without ever having to step foot on a plane. Well, I'm hoping to step foot on a plane a bit later in the year, but not at the moment. So that's what it looks like on my finger. It looks quite light actually, doesn't it? But I think, I'll tell you what, just for fun, let's put it here as if we will go, oh look, see, look how dark that looks as compare and contrast. That's quite amazing, really. So if you were going to do a sort of a, you know, contoury thing, let's just see. Gosh, yes, that is really quite dark, but I rather like it. Although probably not there, actually. Anyway, that's what it looks like on my skin. I like the feel of it, but I probably wouldn't place it here. So that's the NYX Matte Bronzer, and I chose the shade Deep. Now, finally, I chose a liquid bronzer because I'm not really a liquid kind of gal in terms of cosmetics, but I know they're quite popular, and I saw this Iconic London liquid bronzer. I've got a couple of Iconic London products, but I haven't really used them, but this looked really nice and the shade looked great. So it's £21, so it's very expensive compared to, well, it's not as expensive as the Bobbi Brown, but it's quite pricey. It's a liquid bronzer. It's called Sheer Bronze, and it says, it comes in 6 shades. I've chosen the shade Sunkiss, and it says, apply to the bridge of your nose, the tops of your cheekbones, and along your hairline to create the illusion of a naturally sun-kissed glow. So let's just, well, I'll pop a bit on here first. Let's just, ooh. Quite dark, and let us try. I'm running out of places to put it. I'll tell you what, let's pop a bit over here on the cheekbone. So the cheekbone is here. Okay, I'll probably put too much on. Let's shear it out. See, if I had highlighter on, I'd start mixing it with that, wouldn't I? It's so difficult. I mean, it's not like I've got a lot of cheek, is it? What do we think? Do we like it? It certainly feels very nice. I enjoyed using it. I wonder whether it's something that I would probably use in the summer when I was on holiday, maybe on top of my moisturiser and maybe with a bit of concealer or a tinted moisturiser, and then put this on the top. Maybe I wouldn't bother with a blusher, because to be honest, we haven't got a lot of room up here. We've got to put highlighter on, we've got to put blusher, we've got to put bronzer. You know, give us a break. We haven't got that much in the way of space here, have we? But let me know what you think in the comments below. It's really hard for me to tell on camera at the moment. So anyway, but it certainly felt very nice on the skin. It is quite pricey. It's £21, but I think if you're sparing with it, I think it would be a great one to take on holiday. That's what I intend to do anyway. So there you have it. I hope I haven't confused you. I feel like I might have done now with all the different places on where you're supposed to put your bronzers and the type of bronzers. But I do really like all the ones I've chosen. I think the last one, the Iconic London, would definitely be one for the holidays, for the beach or for by the pool. I don't think I would wear it much in London. But I think all the others I definitely would, and they are all suitable for mature skin. I really hope this video has been helpful to you, and if it has, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel, and leave me a comment below. Let me know, have you tried any of these bronzers, or do you have any other favourites? Do let me know, I'd be really interested. And I look forward to seeing you on my next video, and thanks for watching. Bye.